Welcome to Zenfolio Live. I muted myself. That was weird. Hey, everybody. Welcome to Zenfolio Live. I am Robert with Zenfolio. Thanks for joining us on the live stream. Today, we're going to be doing live site review. So I hope you guys are excited. If this is your first time hanging out with us for a live site review, I'm going to go over the rules and how it works and how we do everything. But if you've never had your site reviewed, the third site that we review today, if you've never had your site reviewed, the third site that we review today is going to come from one of you guys who are hanging out with us in the live chat audience. So Dennis is going to be throwing out a link for you guys to submit your site. If you haven't had your site reviewed, make sure that you get your site submitted in that link, and that third and final site will come from somebody who is hanging out with us today. All right, we're going to be reviewing 3 sites absolutely live today. Each site is going to get 15 minutes per review. Like I said, the sites will be chosen at random, with that third and final site coming from somebody watching either on YouTube or hanging out with us on Zoom. Dennis has got that link in the chat for you guys. Make sure you get your site submitted there. Hanging out with me today, taking care of you guys in chat. Make sure that you guys show them some love. I've got Dennis. Really appreciate Dennis jumping on here. I hear he's coming quite far in his yoga instructor training. In the way of announcements, next week we're going to be doing on Zenfolio Live, we're going to be talking about growing your event photography business with Oli Moss. So you guys want to make sure that you check that one out. It's going to be an amazing live stream. Oli has a lot of knowledge and a lot of good information he's going to be sharing with us. And this is going to be the last officially scheduled Zenfolio Live. Now, Zenfolio Live is not entirely going away, but due to some shifting changes and things like that, we are no longer going to be doing them every single Thursday. They are going to pop up from time to time, but next week will be the last official, regularly scheduled Zenfolio Live. So make sure that you come hang out with me for that one as well. Today, after the live stream, we are going to be doing the Zenfolio Lounge. It's another Zoom meeting you guys can hop on. We're going to turn the cameras on, talk about photography, just get to know each other a little bit, have a nice little quick 30-minute chat, nothing formal. And it's a lot of fun. If you guys haven't joined me on a Zenfolio Lounge, there's only going to be this lounge and next week's lounge. So I'd love to come have you jump on there and just say hi. Dennis is going to be throwing the link out for that for you guys in chat. Make sure that you grab that link up and copy that link for the lounge so that you can join it later after the live stream today. Lastly, in the way of announcements, we are encouraging you guys to share your favorite spring photos. Use that hashtag Zenfolio Photographers for a chance for your image to be featured on the live stream intro or on one of our social media platforms such as Instagram or Facebook. All right, you guys, I need you guys in chat to do me a favor really quick. I should have asked for this way earlier, but to kick things off for the site review, throw in a number in the chat. It's going to be a number from 1 to 102. That is going to determine the first site that we review. So really quick, throw a number in the chat from 1 to 102. While I'm waiting on those numbers, let me explain what those numbers mean. Anytime you submit a website to be reviewed, it gets assigned a random number. Now, you're not going to see your website's number. This is how we make sure that these site reviews are chosen randomly. So I see Zoom blowing up. It looks like the first number I see in Zoom is from Jim. Quick on the draw with site number 99. So let me get site 99 pulled up over here really quick. And then we will get 15 minutes up on the clock. So site 99 looks like it is enchantedlunaphotography.com. So let me just get a window pulled up over here. And I will get that in the chat, or get that website pasted in here. And then I'll actually paste the address for you guys in the chat as well. So let me get that site address pasted in here. And let me throw this to you guys in Zoom chat. So if you want to check out the website as we're doing this and follow along, you can. And I'm going to throw the link out in YouTube as well, so you guys can go check that out. All right, so there you go. All right, we're going to get 15 minutes up on the clock. We're going to get this review started. Like I said, make sure you get your site submitted for a review. The third final site's going to come from one of you guys. Let me get that 15-minute timer going, and we will just get started. All right, starting out here on the homepage, beautiful logo. Absolutely love this logo. I think this is really nicely done. It fits so well with the name of your business, Enchanted Luna Photography. This logo is just amazing. One of the things I would love to see is I would love to see you customize this favicon right up here. Just to add a little bit more customization to your site, I would not try to shrink this down. This favicon is 16 pixels by 16 pixels, so it's really small. Maybe a nice purple moon. I wouldn't even leave this design in it. I would do a nice purple moon in there and make it super simple. One of the things that you're doing really well is as I'm hovering over this, I'm seeing Enchanted Luna Photography, but I also see your location. It says Dallas Fort Worth, Texoma, and then I can't really tell what else it says, but it doesn't really matter up here for me to be able to read this. Why I'm pointing this section out and what that little drop down says is because that information is in your website title and description, and that stuff matters to Google. This is information that Google sees, so it's really important that you have it in there, and that's why I want to point it out. So good job there. All right. You have a super simple site menu. I'm not extremely overwhelmed with a bunch of different options, really nicely laid out. The one thing I would say is right out the gate, I noticed that there are not any drop downs. And what that means is I'm going to be doing a lot of clicking around to navigate through your site. And we'll talk about that in a second, but let's check out these images. Now, some absolutely beautiful images. A couple of things here. One, as you can see by the size of my scroll bar over here, there are quite a few images on this homepage. All right. And as you can see here, if your internet is slower like mine and you're scrolling down, it might take a second for those to kind of populate. Beautiful, beautiful photos. What I would suggest you do is cull through these and maybe have your absolute best 10 images here. We don't want people staying on the homepage. We want to present them with images to hook them in and to get them to progress through the path that hopefully you've designed and laid out for them through your site menu, ultimately ending up with you having a new client would be the goal, right? And so think about the images that you show on here. What kind of clients are you trying to attract? You need to show those types of images here and make sure that these are just your best of the best images. Make sure that you're coming back and revisiting this and you're not just adding more images to this gallery, but you're actually swapping images out and keeping it really trimmed down to just your best images. Now, a couple of things here. When I hover over the image, we have this little overlay. This is in the gallery settings. It's something you can go in and turn off. I think it would be a much nicer presentation if that was turned off and we didn't have that. The other thing as well is that I'm not seeing any visitor visible information so far anyway of where you're located, the types of services that you offer, and that kind of thing. And so again, that's where you could maybe show fewer images and have a welcome message that just says something like, hey, thank you for checking out Enchanted Luna Photography. I'm a wedding and a wedding, maternity, and newborn photographer based in Texoma or Dallas Fort Worth area. Just something like that that's visibly available to your viewers or your visitors, so they see that information and they know, hey, I'm at the right place for somebody who does the type of photography that I'm looking for and who's in the area that I'm in, so I can actually hire this person. All right. Let's see if anything happens when we click on the images. Nothing happening when we click on the images. I think that's fine. Let's go ahead and check out your portfolio. All right, so we're clicking on the portfolio and we're going to go check out your portfolio. And when I land here, it says portfolio and then we have some images here. And this is a group page. So what we're looking at is a group page. We're looking at a group page that has these 3 different galleries inside of it. And this is definitely one way to set up your portfolio. It's actually probably the easiest way to set it up for you as the photographer. However, I don't think that this is the most beneficial to your visitors way to set it up. I think the way that you want to set up your portfolio is through a drop down here, right? So rather than me clicking portfolio, landing on this group page where I now have to make another click and go into one of these galleries, I can just hover over portfolio, get a drop down, and navigate directly into the gallery that I'm most interested in. Right? And that saves me a click as a visitor. Now, the other thing is that it doesn't just save a click on that initial click. As I'm exploring your website, right, and especially your portfolio, let's just take a look at how many clicks I'm going to have to make to explore your portfolio in its entirety. So we're going to click on your weddings portfolio. And I'll come back and kind of critique the individual portfolios here in a second. And now let's say I want to go back and look at maternity, a portfolio. So now I have to come back up here, click on portfolio. And then I have to go to maternity. And then if I want to go browse that other portfolio, I again have to take that same action of going back to portfolio, going down and finding newborns, right? And so it doesn't seem like that many clicks, but it's quite a few extra clicks for a visitor when you could simply have this be a drop down to where we could say portfolio weddings, portfolio maternity, portfolio newborns. Just those few extra steps of work on your end is going to save a lot of time for your visitors and make your site much more navigatable. So let's go back and check out your wedding portfolio really quick. All right, so let's go in here. Absolutely beautiful, beautiful images. Let's take a look at this. So looking at over here, let's see how many images we have. I love the mix of images here. So like what I love about this is as I'm scrolling down from this, I don't feel like I'm getting a lot of the same repetitive shots. Like I'm seeing a good diversity of poses, of different images, detail shots, getting ready. This is a really nicely laid out wedding portfolio, I think. What do you guys think in chat about the images here and the way it's laid out? I think it's absolutely done beautifully. I think it's really nicely laid out. It looks like you really put some thought into the image selection and the way that you've got them organized here. Now, with that being said, I do have some feedback for you. We're going to start up here at the top. This word weddings, that is the gallery title. All right. And that is just the title that you've put on this gallery. And as photographers, a lot of times I know we name our galleries for our own personal organization, a way for us to keep track of this is our weddings gallery and all of this. But any text on your website matters to Google. Okay? Google sees this information and it can be helpful or it can just not do a lot for you depending on the information that you put in here. And so what I'm saying is that take advantage of especially these portfolio galleries where they're going to be out in the public and indexable by search engines. Take some extra time and really write a good title in here. Dallas, Fort Worth, Texas, wedding photography portfolio, something like that. Outdoor, maybe you specialize in a specific niche in that in the wedding industry. Maybe you put that in there, but you can put in at least wedding photography and a location in here to get that information to be a lot more valuable in terms of SEO. Now, the other thing I want to say as well is you have the option to add gallery captions. All right. And gallery captions are super useful, right? You can talk about the experience for the client and kind of your philosophy and how you handle the client and their wedding day as a photographer. But you can also mention specific venues that you work at. Maybe you're a preferred vendor at specific venues. You can put that information in the caption, make sure that it's showing, and now you're adding more SEO value because it's actual text that a visitor can see. And if you're mentioning specific venues, you can always link to them from your website, have it open up in a new tab, reach out to those venues, let them know you're linking to them, send them the page, and maybe they'll give you a link back. And those link backs are gold when it comes to SEO. So something to think about there. All right. The other thing as well is we have select photos, and then we have the favorites option here, and we have this hover overlay. Now, if there's a specific reason why you have select photos turned on in this portfolio gallery, that's perfectly fine. If this is just on here because that's kind of the default and you didn't really think about changing it, you might want to turn this off. I can't really think of a good reason for anybody to go through and make a favorites in a portfolio, but if it's intentional, you can definitely leave it on. I just want to make sure that that's intentional. I think the share button's fine to leave on. It's good to have if a bride's looking here, or maybe just a friend of the bride or a friend of the groom came across your site, they can easily share it. Next thing we want to go down here and talk about, so we want to talk about categories and keywords, right? That's the little box that I'm looking for that's down here that is not here. And so what that means is that if you have taken time to categorize, keyword your photos, it's not doing you any good because it's not visible. Back in the day, we could put a lot of text information in our websites, but keep it hidden from visitors and just dump a bunch of keywords on the back side of the website, and it would help us rank higher in Google. Now, Google doesn't take any of that hidden text information into consideration. What they look for is actual relevant information that your visitors can see. And so if you've keyworded this gallery and these images, Google doesn't care because your visitors can't see it, and so they don't see it as relevant information, and it's not going to help your SEO. So you definitely want to make sure that you have those categories, captions, keywords, and all that stuff turned on. Now, it's not going to flood your site. There's not going to be keywords all over your website. It's actually stored down here in a nice little box, but it's going to be really, really helpful for your SEO. All right, let's go check out the rest of your portfolios really quick. All right, and again, you can see I'm having to click back to portfolio and then go to the maternity portfolio when I could have just used that drop down. And again, beautiful, beautiful work. Just absolutely gorgeous photos. Just beautiful and stunning. This looks like a friend of mine. That's why I double checked. I was like, is that one of my friends? Beautiful, beautiful work. This is super consistent with the wedding gallery that we were looking at earlier. So the feedback is going to be the exact same, right? Let's think about that title. What other information can we put in that title? How can we utilize this gallery caption? The other thing as well is that you're doing a good job of presenting your work, but you're not telling me what I should do if I'm interested in hiring you as a photographer. There's a contact info button, but you're not coaxing me to get in touch with you, right? You're not saying, hey, click here to contact me to talk about a session, or click here to see my session pricing. You're just showing me your work and expecting me to go to the contact info all on my own without any coaxing. And definitely you can use those gallery captions to include call to action, encourage your visitors to take that action of reaching out and hopefully scheduling a shoot with you. Let's go back to your portfolio. I've got like 2 minutes left on this review. So what I need you guys to do is throw out a number in chat. This time it's going to be 102 to 202. That will be the next site that we review. So 102 to 202, that will choose the next one. All right. Let's go to your newborn. I'm sure this is going to be pretty much matching up to what we've seen previously. Looks like it is. Again, just solid, stunning work. Beautiful, beautiful work. Super consistent on your site, so same feedback applies here. Client galleries, I'm just going to quickly browse through this. In my opinion, most of the time I don't like linking client galleries on the website. I find that causes some confusion for visitors as to, am I supposed to access this? Is my gallery going to be here if I hire this photographer? Is my gallery going to be here open and available for anybody to see? Personally, I like directly emailing clients through galleries and not even having this on the site. In my opinion, your website's primary focus should be new client acquisition and serve your current clients secondary. All right. So I'm not going to go through this too much. I just want to kind of browse down here. Lots of galleries in here. Does this really need to be here? If this is how your clients want to access their galleries, if this is how you've decided to make it work and your clients are okay with that, perfectly fine. Just something to think about. 57 seconds left. So let's take a look at your blog. No blog posts. So let's get a blog post at least once a month, or let's get that blog removed and do something else with this space on our site. Contact info. Let's check that out really quick. I only got like 39 seconds. And this is the standard default built-in contact page. Perfectly fine to use. Super simple. It works just fine without having to do anything. What I'm really missing from this website is you. All right. And what I mean is that I have no sense of who you are as a person. of who you are as a photographer. You have beautiful, beautiful work, absolutely beautiful work. But I want to know that we're going to get along. I want to know that we're going to be friends. I want to know that I'm going to like you as a person. And I'm getting none of that from this website. So I feel like the SEO things that I hit on are some really big pointers. But I would love to see more of you on this site, learning more about you. What are you into? What's our experience going to be like if I do hire you? Are we going to get along? Are we going to enjoy the experience and enjoy each other's company during that session? All right. Thank you so much for submitting your site. I hope this review was helpful. Let me see what number we got. I'm going to come to you guys on YouTube this time for a number. And it looks like Pro Exposure Photography threw in the number 109. So I'm going to grab website 109. I'm going to bring it over. I'm going to throw the links out to you guys. And then remember, the next review after this one is going to come from one of you guys watching us. So if you haven't got your site reviewed, make sure that you do that. I know on Zoom, Dennis has thrown that link out for you guys in the chat. If you're watching on YouTube, the link to submit your site is actually below the video in the description. So you can click that link and submit your site. But let me go and grab site number 109. All right. Site number 109 looks like it is CandiceChaneyPhotography.com. So let me throw this link out to you guys on YouTube. And let me throw this link out to you guys on Zoom so you can follow along while we're doing the review. All right. And we'll go ahead and get this link put up here. I'll get 15 minutes up on the clock and we'll get this review going. All right, let's get that time going right now. All right, so just starting out on here. And this is one that I notice on just about everybody's website. It's not a super big deal, you guys. Like, I would not lose any sleep over this favicon, but it is an option that exists for you to just give your site a little bit more of a custom feel, right? It's one extra space that you can go and add a little touch of your personality, of your branding, and it's just nice to have that up there. Now, as I'm up here looking, I see Candice Chaney Photography and just your website. That tells me that there's not a lot of information in your website title and description, right? Think about what information you could put there to tell Google location information, type of photography, all that stuff. There's lots of good information that you could add in here. Let's go ahead and go down here and take a look. Really cool logo. Love the logo. A square logo sometimes can be difficult as we progress through your site, depending on how you have your site header set up. With that being said, I love the square logo and I love the feather. I think that this is really cool. It's nice and clean. I am not a huge fan of this slideshow. And the reason I'm not a huge fan of this slideshow is the gray bar that you see over here, how small the images are, and then the gray bar that you see down here. And so let me tell you how to fix this. This particular slideshow takes its orientation from the first image that is inside of the gallery where this slideshow is being pulled from. And so if I go back to the very first image, you're going to see that it's going to fill that space really nicely. But then as we progress, right, we get this. Okay? And so a couple of things to think about. Should you make sure that you are only using portrait-orientated images in this gallery so that all of the images fill this space? That is what I would recommend. I would recommend going through that gallery and any of these images that you're wanting to show. They're absolutely beautiful images, cropping them so that they match that aspect ratio of that very first image that we saw, right? So let me just get back to it really quick. Cropping them so that they match this. Or the other thing that you could do is you could, in the gallery, physically just move a landscape orientated photo to the front, and that's going to change the whole aspect ratio of this slideshow. Now, with that being said, what that is also going to do is it's going to make your portrait oriented images appear smaller and have gray bars on the side. And what you'll need to do is you'll need to go into that slideshow settings, find the background, and make sure that you set it to be transparent so we don't have that weird gray bar there. All right. Some absolutely beautiful images, though. Let's kind of scroll through them really quick and take a look. I definitely would love to see these images a little bit larger. They are absolutely beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful photos. Definitely get a really strong sense of your style and who you are as a photographer just by glancing through these. I wasn't counting, so I'm not sure how many images we're at, but believe we just hit the last one, and that took me a few seconds. So I think that's a good number of images. You don't have too many images. Also, I'm noticing that we have the book a session button here. Let's click on that really quick and just check it out. Nice. So you have Book Me all set up. Guys, if you haven't checked out Book Me yet, it's pretty phenomenal. It syncs to your Google Calendar. It's an amazing online booking tool and payment tool as well. So definitely make sure that you're checking out Book Me. It's a really just a nice tool that we released last year. It's fairly new, but if you haven't checked it out, make sure that you check it out. Okay. I don't have a lot of information on this website. You've got a lot of nice text down here. This looks like it's your welcome message. I would really consider maybe thinking of checking out some of the newer site presets that are available, giving your site more real estate on here, because I feel like the image, your logo, all of this stuff is really condensed. There's lots of real estate over here that's just left to waste, and your images are really small. So I would really take a look at some of the site presets that we have. With your photography and your logo, there are definitely a few site presets that you could click on that would just give your site a dramatic uplift on the front end here and just a quick click. So I would definitely check that out. With that being said, I don't have a lot of options to explore. All I have is blog, about, and contact. So I'm going to see if there's a place that I can go to see more of your work, Candace. But right now, if I'm a visitor, I'm kind of wondering, like, okay, I'm on this photographer's website. Where do I go to see more of their photography, right? Where do I go to see information about their services? I see book a session, which is cool, but I haven't seen much of their images other than this, and I haven't really learned much about them as a photographer yet. Let's go check out your blog, and let's take a look at that really quick. All right, so March 30th, 2020. Before that, we had March 2021, March 27th, March 5th, February. So it looks like you were hitting the blog post really hard and heavy the past couple of months. And then now we're almost towards the end of April and we don't have a blog post. So I love that you're blogging, Candace. What I would consider, you guys, anybody that's blogging, if you know without a shadow of a doubt that you're going to be able to push out multiple blogs a month, and you just know there's not going to be any problem at all doing that, that's awesome. All right. But if there's any doubt in that, what I would encourage you to do is to take that blog content that you have, right? Maybe you've got a couple of months, you've got a lot of stuff going on, you've got a lot of stuff to blog about. Take that blog content, get it in there and get it scheduled out for the year, right? So get one blog post per month scheduled out, and then you can circle back around and go in and create more posts per month if you have the content. But this way, at least you have one blog post per month scheduled out for that entire year. So if you get busy and you just don't have time to publish blogs or to write them, to get them ready to go, you've already taken care of your entire year and you're done, right? If you have a lot of content, don't waste it all in a couple of months doing like a sprint like that. Spread it out so that it's going to continue to serve you throughout the year and you can focus on other things because you have that blog content developed. Really nice job though. Let's click on the blog and just take a look really quick. Even though I started it a little different this year. Ever after. Also, I would always think about what is the purpose of my blog, right? You have some beautiful images in here, right? What's the purpose of this? Is this purpose just to share some images? Hopefully the purpose behind everything that you do on your website is to get your work in front of people who are looking to hire you. And you're writing about blog, or you're writing about things that they might be interested in, but you're also pitching your services, right? So this is talking about a school's annual fourth grade fairy tale with a story. Maybe just drop a few lines in here where, hey, if you're interested in having me photograph your school's events or something like that, please feel free to reach out. This is what I charge, or maybe don't even include that in the blog post, but think about if somebody has come across this through organic search, they're taking the time to look at it, they're taking the time to read it, chances are they're interested in that. How can you use that that moment that you have with them to benefit you and to hopefully pick up a new client, right? Always think about putting purpose behind everything that you do on your site, your blog posts included. All right, beautiful blog post though. Love that you started out with a video, nicely done. Let's go back and let's take a look at another one really quick. Just kind of reading through here, nice quote, beautiful, beautiful photos, right? So here is a great opportunity, right? You have these amazing and gorgeous photos here. I want to buy one, right? If I came across this, I'm looking for this stuff, I'm interested in purchasing this type of photos. Not only do I not have a place to go see more of your work, Candace, but I can't even buy these photos that you put on here that are so beautiful. So look, if the purpose of your website is strictly just to share your work, if you're not doing this to get more clients, then you've done it. I mean, your website is doing what you want it to do. But I hope that your website is here to serve you, to get more clients, to help you grow your business. And there's nothing in here that's leading me as a visitor to that path, right? You're just kind of showing me your work and then just kind of dropping me off and letting me move on to the next whatever I'm going to do. You're not giving me something to do. You're not telling me what you want me to do. You're not providing me with a place to find more info about your work or about hiring you as a photographer. So lots of lost opportunity here, I feel like. All right, let's go back and we're going to take a look at one more blog post. We got like 4 minutes left. So again, you guys, when we finish this, Dennis is going to hop on here. I'm going to take a quick break, sip some tea. Dennis is going to jump on here and say hi to you guys. And then when we come back after that break, we're going to be reviewing one of your sites live. So you've got a few more minutes to get that website submitted if you haven't done it yet. Like I said, once I wrap up this review, Dennis will be jumping on. I'll take a break and then we'll come back and get to that live audience review. But let's keep moving. Down here on Cloud 9, we're going to check this one out. Just absolutely beautiful, beautiful photos. Beautiful photos. Let's go right here. Baby first. My favorite things to do in the Cloud family. It's made it so fun. Baby Claire is growing up. Gender reveal. Right here, right? Beautiful photos. Really good intro. But what is the purpose of this blog post other than sharing the photos? Interested in having me photograph your gender reveal, interested in having maternity photos, here, take a look at my maternity portfolio. Click on this link to see my services. And if you're interested in booking me, click the red book a session button, right? Give me something to do if I'm interested in hiring you as a photographer. All right, let's go back to let's go to your about really quick. Let's take a peek at this. All right, so we have a photo on here. Good job having a photo on here. I see so many photographers who don't have a photo of themselves on their website. For me, that is super, super crucial. Otherwise, it kind of makes for some awkward meetings for the first time. Whenever you're meeting your client, maybe they're looking around, they have no idea what you look like. And they're like, I wonder if that's them, is that them? Definitely super important for you to have a photo of yourself as a photographer on your about page. Looks like you have a lot of good information in here. I love that you start this off with Candace here, a spunky little jalapeno of a woman attempting small daily resurrections with my life and work from my home in Shreveport, Louisiana. I'm inspired by my 3 kids. Within the first few sentences, Candace, of this about message, I can tell that if I was looking for a photographer, you would be the type of photographer I'm looking for because you sound fun, you sound like you are lighthearted, and it sounds like you and I share the same kind of values. You have kids, so you're giving me lots of good information to help me relate to you as a person. And in my opinion, that is what that about message is for. Throughout your website, you should have already sold me on your work and your skill as a photographer. Your about page should sell me on you as a person. It should make me feel connected to you, to want to meet you, not just because you're an amazing photographer, but because you're a person that I can really relate to and I can tell that we're really going to get along and click. And you've done that in the first few sentences. You also mentioned your location. Again, really good information in here. Talk about every year I craft my personal photos into a storytelling book. Okay, really good offer, timeless photography. So right here, other than the book a session button on the first on your website on the homepage, it's the first time I feel like you're telling me that you're offering services to hire for me to hire you for. This is the first time other than the book a session page. Sorry guys, I had to cough. Really nice welcome or about message though. I think this really does a nice job. Let's check out that contact page really quick. All right, and this is the Zenfolio built-in contact page. It definitely does the job and does what you need it to do. Super simple. All you have to do is turn it on. So I think this is perfectly fine to use. You also have the book a session button here as well. You could definitely turn that on your about page. But you can have it on here as well. One of the things, Candace, is you do have this search tool up here. I don't know if you have this on purpose. This is something that you can remove. What are your clients going to be searching for? What are visitors going to be searching for? If this is intentional and you've set up your website to be searchable and this is something that you want people to use, by all means, leave it there. If it's there because you just didn't realize that was there and you haven't really thought about it, please remove it, because if you don't have your account set up correctly, you don't have the proper access control settings, this might allow people to see some galleries that maybe you don't want people seeing. Maybe they're personal galleries or client galleries. If you don't have the right access set up, this search tool could get you into some trouble. So if it's intentional, by all means, leave it there. Please make sure that you have it set up the way that it needs to be set up. All right, you guys, with that being said, that is all the time we have for that one. So I'm going to have Dennis jump on here, talk to you guys for a few seconds, or a few minutes. I'm going to take a quick break, get a sip of tea. Also, I got a slideshow. We featured some images on the intro, but I want to bring those images back up, let you guys see them again. Dennis is going to hop on here and say hi to you guys. Make sure that you get your site submitted, because when I come back, we're going to be doing that live audience site review. But go ahead and take it away, Dennis, my friend.
Thanks, Robert. Cool. Hello. Hi, everyone. Robert, thanks again. Hi, welcome, and thank you all for joining us for Zenfolio Live. I'm Dennis with Zenfolio Customer Success. Happy to be the moderator today, helping out in chat so Robert can view the websites. Hopefully everyone submitted their site for review and will benefit from some useful feedback should you get selected. Thanks for doing that. But just an announcement or two, if you haven't yet registered for the Wide Angle Wednesdays, please do so if you are interested. It's good fun. We have special guests and members of the Zenfolio team engage in photography discussions. So look in the chat for the link to register for Wide Angle Wednesdays. And I think it happens the first Wednesday of every month, 8 p.m. Eastern. So feel free to register for that. Also, before I hand it back over to Robert, if you haven't yet heard, PhotoBooker allows you to get discovered, booked, and paid by clients near you. So when you're ready to take bookings, go to photobooker.com and you'll receive more info on that and you'll be able to sign up. Thanks, everyone. Back to you, Robert.
All right. Thank you, Dennis. Some beautiful photos, you guys. Thank you so much for using that hashtag Zenfolio Photographers. That is where we go and select the photos that we want to feature. Absolutely beautiful photos. Big shout out to, Candace Cheney. We just reviewed her site too. Big shout out to, that's a beautiful photo, Candace. That's funny. But thank you guys for using that hashtag. Thank you guys for hanging out with us. Let's see, who do we have? We have Pro Exposure Photography, Gregory Johnson. Thanks for jumping on here and hanging out with us. Let's see. Who else do we have hanging out with us? Who do we got in Zoom today? Let me see who we have over here in Zoom. We've got Don, Felipe. I'm going to say some names wrong. You can make fun of me. You know the rules. If I pronounce your name wrong, please let me know in chat and make fun of me for it. Alan, Anthony, Carolyn, Courtney, Cindy, Don, Felipe, George, Kelly, Michael, and Paul. Thank you guys for jumping on here and hanging out with us. We're going to go ahead and get to that live audience site review. And then hopefully you guys plan on coming and hanging out with me in the Zenfolio Lounge right after this live stream. I'm going to open up the lounge. Again, we just turn cameras on, chat about photography. Sometimes we share photos, we share sites, we laugh. Sometimes we talk about just completely random things. It's a lot of fun. Make sure that you guys come join us for that. Let me go ahead and see which site got selected for our live chat audience. It looks like the site is CM Wallace Photography LLC. Let me copy the link to that. Let me get my screen share back up. All right, let me get that screen share back up for you guys. And I'm going to be throwing this link out in chat for you guys. I don't know why on YouTube, Google seems to be deleting Dennis's links. That's super weird. Shame on you, Google, for doing that. He's my moderator. I don't know why that's happening, Dennis. I do see it, though, and I'm not sure if there's anything I could do to actually fix it. Yeah, there's nothing I can do. I can't stop the Google moderator team, I guess. Google moderator team, if you're watching, please stop deleting Dennis Zenfolio's messages on YouTube chat. They're legit. I want him to put them in there. The links are okay. Okay. Let me throw this link out to you guys on Zoom chat so you guys can follow us along on the website as well. We'll get 15 minutes up on the clock. This is CM Wallace Photography LLC. Let's see, where's Courtney at? She's hanging out with us on Zoom. Hey, Courtney. All right, we're going to get 15 minutes going, and we'll get this review started. All right, so I got 15 minutes up on the clock, so we're just going to start out right here. All right, so first thing, I'm just going to keep it consistent up here at the top. We have the Zenfolio favicon. We also have Zenfolio in front of your name, so I would definitely consider going in there and modifying that site title to have some useful information, right? It doesn't need to have Zenfolio in your website title. You want to include information like your name, the type of photography you do, and maybe the location that you're photographing. So definitely something that you want to include in there. Also, while you're there, you go ahead and update. I'm getting tongue-tied. Go ahead and update that Zenfolio favicon here and get something custom in here, maybe matching. It looks like you're kind of using the typewriter font, maybe something matching that, or come up with your own logo, right? And get a logo in here. Beautiful images though. That is super cool. Where is that from? Courtney, where is this image from? That's amazing. Beautiful, beautiful photo. It looks like, let's see, how many images do we have here on the homepage? So some beautiful photos. Absolutely beautiful. Let's follow your site menu here. One of the things that I really want to encourage you guys to think about in your site menu here is this is your roadmap for your visitors, okay? So I want you to think about when a visitor, not an existing client, when a brand new visitor lands on your website, what do you want them to do? What paths do you want them to follow? Where do you want them to go? What do you want them to see first? And write this stuff down, right? Write down, when a visitor lands on my website, this is what I want them to see. This is what I want them to do. This is what I hopefully want the end result to be. And then how can you create and design a roadmap for them to follow using your site menu to get them to that final goal, whatever the final goal is for you, whether it's hiring you as a photographer, purchasing your images, buying a book or something like that. That site menu is the roadmap that you're creating to get that visitor to that final destination that you want to get them to. Okay, let's go check out what you've set up for us. So we're leading off with the About the Photographer. Let's go ahead and check this out really quick. All right, Courtney is a landscape documentary photographer. Video Wallace picked up photography as a child and grew to love the craft. While dad for years, also took pictures of for the family. Okay, so I think this is really cool. I personally do not like the third person viewpoint when you're writing out your about message. This is me personally, okay? I know there's lots of business coaches, and depending on what industry you're in, will tell you that you need to write your about message in third person. And I'm not disputing that at all. I'm just saying for me, when I go to somebody's website and it's theirname.com, and then I go and I read their about message and it sounds like somebody else wrote it and they did it, it's a weird experience for me. Maybe this is something personal. And again, it really comes down to the types of clients that you want as well, right? If you want to come across super professional, maybe you're doing commercial work, something like that, the business route's the way to take. Doing a third person is probably the way that you want to take. But if you're wanting people to hire you, if you're wanting clients that are fun and carefree and laid back, then you want to relate to them through your about message. And telling them about you from somebody else's point of view comes across a little weird. You want to grab me and say, hey, we could be friends. Like you and I could be friends outside of this. We have these things in common, and this is why we would get along, and I would be a great photographer for you to hire and work with, because aside from giving you beautiful images, we're going to have a fun time together and we're going to enjoy the experience, right? That's what I want the about message to do. But again, like I said, it's totally up to you and your purpose of your site. I just wanted to mention that. Interesting about photo. So is this a photo of you, Courtney? This is interesting. If it is a photo of you, it's super cool photo, about photo, really interesting. Let's check out your publications. All right, publications, projects I've worked on. Ciara, Body Party. Oh, nice. Okay, really, really cool. This would be really cool blog stuff, and maybe it's in your blog. It would also be really cool if you had some of the images. I love that you have this linked. Another thing as well is this is a really nice list, but could you add some more text information in here, right? Could you talk a little bit about this project so that if I was searching for something, this page would have some information that maybe I would stumble upon and click on it and see what it is, right? And this looks like it goes to YouTube. Okay, so we'll go back here. Really cool though. I love that you have this. It's kind of like a client's list in your publications and stuff. Really nice. Let's check out your photography. So let's go up here and let's take a look. All right, so this is an interesting feature that the Zenfolio galleries have. They have this option to let you show a slideshow up here. And depending on how many images there are in the gallery, depends on if I usually want to keep this slideshow on or not. It does feel a little bit redundant. Also, a couple of things I want to mention here is there's not a lot of information in here telling me about what this is, right? It says, hopefully I'm pronouncing it right, Gelsberg up here. Then when I land on it, it says home, which maybe this is your home. And am I reading this right? I am reading right. Okay. It says home, which maybe this is your hometown, but this is your gallery title. And I've said it a couple of times during this live stream. How can you utilize that title to be more SEO friendly? Photos of Gelsberg photographer landscape portfolio. Different things like that where you could drop in the word photography. You can drop in the specific location. Just make that gallery title a little bit more friendly and have a little bit more information in there. Also, think about that gallery caption, right? Gallery caption lets you tell people something about the gallery. It's another place to give a call to action. Maybe you want to talk about some of the photos that are in here and mention those specific locations. That text information is super, super valuable. So that's something that you might want to include in there. Get that gallery caption turned on. Now I want to scroll down and see if you have categories and keywords turned on, which I don't see categories and keywords turned on. So that means, again, if you've captioned, categorized, keyworded these photos in this gallery, it's not doing you any good because people can't see it. And because people can't see it, Google doesn't care about it. And so you need to make sure that if you're categorizing, keywording these photos, that you get that caption turned on. Beautiful photos. Love these sunset shots. Or maybe these are sunrise, but just absolutely beautiful. Let's check out your next portfolio up here. Let's go to sanitation district. So let's check this out. All right, and so it looks like you have your gallery set up pretty consistent. Kudos to that. I definitely think that the experience on your website should be a consistent one. When I go from one gallery to another, I don't need to feel like I've left this website and went to a different one. I want things to be consistent, which everything's staying consistent. So nice job there. You're starting to use that gallery title a little bit more, but again, you can put some more information in here. This says a hidden gem photos. So maybe you could talk a little bit in that gallery caption about why this specific place is a hidden gem. It looks like one to me. I happen to love urban exploration photography. Before COVID, you could probably find me out exploring some abandoned buildings that I might not have supposed to have been in, and that's primarily what I love to photograph. So some of the photos that I'm already seeing are absolutely really, really beautiful, and it just looks like a really cool place. But tell me about it. What is this place? Where's it at? What was it for? What was the experience like? Why would I be interested in looking at these photos or going and visiting this place or knowing about it? Tell me that information up here. And again, if you're trying to get yourself hired as a photographer, maybe mention the services that you offer in that caption and give me a call to action. Let's check out the photos really quick. Look at that. That's amazing. I love the walls. Oh, this makes me want to go exploring. Very cool. Very, very cool. All right, categories and keywords, same thing as well down here. All right, let's keep moving on. Let's check out Chicago. All right. And again, super consistent. I'm going to have the same feedback, so I'm just going to keep moving on. Let's check out Brazil. All right. And so this is where we kind of get back to the photos that we saw on the homepage. Really cool photos. I would definitely get, if that wasn't you in the about photo, I would definitely make sure that you get a photo of yourself uploaded on there. I think that it's super important. This is, so you're starting to utilize that gallery caption down here. Really nice. Nice use of text here. This stuff is important. One thing I will point out as well is you have the Facebook like button on. If you're going to have this on, call in a favor from some of your friends, right? Have them come to these galleries and just ask them to do you a favor and like the page. All right. So I'm going to do that for you really quick while I'm here if I can. Oh, it won't let me. Sorry, it won't let me while I have the Zoom going. I was going to like it for you, but call in a favor from your friends, have them go in and like that, or you can just turn that like button off. The last thing you want people seeing is landing on a gallery with a bunch of images that have 0 likes. One thing I want to say as well is you have so few images in these galleries, you could definitely go in here and increase the thumbnail size. Let these photos take up a little bit more real estate. And honestly, what I would probably recommend is I would probably turn off this slideshow and let these photos have more real estate on the page. Make them a little larger. That way we kind of have a scrolling experience. For me, it just seems a little redundant to see the images on the slideshow and then to see the same thing down here. I would rather browse them in the grid view, have them be larger, and fill the space a little bit more. All right, let's keep moving on. Let's go check out that's a cool shot though. Love that shot. Beautiful photo. All right, yeah, so I'm going to have the same feedback here as well. Let's go ahead and check out your graphic design page. We got about 3 minutes left. All right. Okay, so you do some graphic design. Is this a service that you offer? How can you utilize this page to tell me what products you've done, to tell me what services you offer, and to tell me how I can get in contact with you, right? Because right now it says graphic design. I see this. Don't really know much about what it is. Don't really know if this is the only thing that you do. And I'm not even sure if this is something that you're doing for hiring. So again, thinking about what is the ultimate purpose of your website? How can you set these pages up to accomplish the ultimate purpose that you have, which could be getting hired or just getting your work out there. Utilize that gallery caption. That gallery caption, in my opinion, is one of the most underutilized features on Zenfolio, and it's super useful. You can put links in it. You can put a lot of text information in there, and it's really, really helpful. Let's check some of this out, though. Really cool. Okay, cool. So if this is a project that you worked on, maybe mention it here. Talk about the project. Put a little bit of text in here. Talk about this project. Say you're available for projects similar. Here's how you get in touch. But let's just get some more information in here about you, about the services that you offer. Let's check out your blog really quick. All right, so blog. Thanks for stopping by the blog. And one thing that I have noticed is this purple. You have this really clean black up here. You have it on your homepage, the rest of your site, and then occasionally we have these links in purple. It's important to have your links be a color that stands out. So what I would suggest too is to start thinking about your overall branding, right? Lots of people use the just black and white branding. That's perfectly fine. It's nice to have an established accent color. Maybe work that accent color into a logo somewhere as well, just to establish some brand consistency. All right, let's check out your blogs really quick. Okay, so this was July 15th, 2020. So it's been a while since you blogged. I know the world's been a little crazy, but I would definitely suggest blogging once a month, right? And, you know, one of the things that I've heard is that, hey, I'm not busy. I don't have anything to blog about. What should I blog about if I don't have anything going on? That is the perfect time to go revisit some of your old work, pick out a couple of your images, get them in a blog, put a short story, get that thing scheduled to publish, right? Go back, visit your old work. Just because you're not actively doing anything, right? And I'm not saying that's the case with you. Is it Courtney? Courtney. I'm not saying that's the case with you, Courtney. I'm just saying in general, if you don't have anything going on to blog about, go back, revisit some of your old work, and create some blog posts on those older images and get those sharing up. All right. Let me check out your contact page really quick, and then we're going to wrap up the live stream. Contact info right here. And then so this is perfectly fine. This is the built-in contact page. And then I want to show you this. All right. The very last site menu item, almost small, tucked away, and hidden, is Book Us. All right. And this is where finally you're telling me that I can hire you, and you're kind of talking about a little bit of the services, but look at everything that I had to go through to get there. Don't let that part of your site be so timid and shy. Put it in my face a little bit here and there, tease it out. Let's think about the ultimate purpose of your website, and let's design that path to get people there and make sure that it's constantly leading them to that direction. Thank you so much, Courtney, for jumping on here, submitting your site. Hopefully I gave you some good pointers, some good things to think about. Guys, we are unfortunately out of time. I do want to say thank you to everybody who hung out with me today. Let me just turn off my screen share. Thank you to Don, Cindy, George, Kelly, Pam, Courtney, Carolyn, Anthony, Alan, Pro Exposure, George, and everybody else that's name I'm missing. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me today. Like I said, make sure that you come to not tomorrow, next Thursday. It's the final regularly scheduled Zenfolio Live. Now again, we're not getting rid of Zenfolio Live entirely. It's just no longer going to be regularly scheduled for every single Thursday. They're going to be planned out further in advance. They're going to be maybe once a month, but as long as you're subscribed to our Facebook page and our YouTube channel, you'll get plenty of warning about that, and our Instagram as well. You'll know when they're coming up. And you're also in the Zoom. You'll get that information as well. So make sure that you join me next Thursday for that. And also make sure that you are signed up for Wide Angle Wednesdays. Those are our live streams that happen every first Wednesday of every month. Those go live on our Facebook page. We bring a panelist of photographers on there, discuss a photography topic. Everybody gets 2 minutes to answer. Lots of good information in there, lots of good viewpoints. Definitely worth checking out. All right, you guys, I'm going to open up the Zenfolio Lounge. I hope to see some of you guys in there. If I don't see you guys in the lounge, and if I don't see you guys next week, I hope that you have a wonderful, safe weekend. Make sure that you go do something good for somebody, that you lift somebody up, that you encourage somebody, that you tell yourself good things about you, and that you encourage yourself and you treat yourself like a friend instead of an enemy. I hope that you guys have a wonderful weekend. Let's all work together to make this world a better place because it could really, really use it now. Thank you guys so much. I'll see you guys in the lounge. Bye, everybody.